Hello everyone out there. Welcome again to Bremen and Kampala Spaces of Transcultural Writing and to our Roundtable Tag 2, since Deborah Asiimwe couldn't be with us yesterday. Deborah, you are most welcome to our blog project.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Nicholas.
Deborah, you will start this whole thing off with an input on writing in changing places, the concept of being at home. Could you tell us something about you and what you're going to talk about?
Sure. Thank you again for having me, and I'm very, very excited about this cross-border conversation that we are having about writing. My full name is Asiimwe Deborah Gashuji, although I go by Deborah Asiimwe, and I am a writer, but my background is in writing for stage. I have written for radio, for screen, I've written short stories, but I prefer calling myself a playwright because I think that's where I have invested much of my time in terms of writing.
Yes.
I currently live in Kampala, although I will be leaving Kampala to go to Germany very soon. But if I could just briefly talk about how I found myself in theater and writing for theater.
Yes, please.
In my childhood, at some point, I lived with my grandmother, who was a storyteller, and the tradition at home was that she would tell us folk tales, and in the subsequent nights, we, the grandchildren, would retell them and actually perform them. So I really attribute to my writing for stage as well as performing to my grandmother, who I believe, although she didn't know that she was actually leading me into performing arts, she really, I think, impacted me and my perceptions about writing for live performance. In my case, writing for stage.
Yes.
And then in college, I studied theater, Bachelor of Arts in Theater and Drama, and I studied writing for performance for my master's, my MFA degree in the United States. And I have lived in different places, I think, for the past 10 plus years.
This big theme of writing and changing places is coming in at this point.
Yes, exactly. Really starting to write for stage, I started in the early 2000s. I don't know what I was doing. I was just writing things that people graciously chose to call plays. And that time I was still in Kampala. And then fast forward, I went for grad school in the US. I lived in California for 3 years when I was doing my grad school. And I found myself, my writing being informed by where I was.
Yes.
And then I moved to New York. I lived there for 4+ years. And I recently, towards the end of last year, I moved back to Kampala. And now I'm moving to Germany, to Stuttgart.
Yes.
And so I think my moving in many ways has made me think a lot about how moving places, how living in different places affects one's writing and creativity and the way we view the world. And I'm so excited that the topic you gave me in many ways actually connects to how my life has been in the recent past. So the topic that you graciously gave me is writing in changing places, the concepts of being at home. And the concept of home for me, I think, started coming alive when I left Uganda. And, you know, when I was still living here, although I wasn't living in my ancestral place and home, I still considered myself working from home because I was in my home country. And so for me, Uganda became home. And then when I moved and went to the US, I didn't have a place anymore in Uganda. And therefore, home for me was a space and place that I would find myself. So for some time, California was home. For some time, New York was home. And now Kampala is home. And in the next few days, Stuttgart is going to be home.
That's a funny thing that you're actually going to change your place very soon again. And it's during our project that you will actually be in Germany.
That's right. Yeah.
What are you doing in Germany? What's the purpose?
I'm doing a writing residency. Although I have been writing, I've also been holding down a regular job. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's great to have a regular job as a writer because, sometimes writing may not necessarily put food on one's table or a roof over one's head. So I have been holding down a regular job and writing on the side.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, for the past few years, I have put my writing a little down, and I feel like I need time and space where I cannot think of anything else except write. And so that's why I'm going to Stuttgart. I'll just be writing from, I think, Monday to Monday, 6 months nonstop. I'll just be writing.
Well, this sounds wonderful. I'm very jealous.
Sorry.
No, but when you're in Germany and when we talk about playwriting and theater stuff, we actually have the opportunity to meet for real. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. I'm looking forward to that. I love this, that the internet can connect someone who is on one corner of the world with another person on the other corner of the world, and that we can see each other and that we can have a conversation. I think those are some of the beautiful things that the internet has done. But I also love the idea of actually being in an actual physical place together and having a face-to-face conversation. And I think that will also be interesting, that beyond speaking via wires and the screen, there's going to be an opportunity for the two of us to just meet and chat about writing theater and, writing for stage and what that means, and what that means for people like you and I who move a lot and are not in one place for such a long time.
Yeah, I think so too. And just to explain it to the guys out there, the plan right now is that a small camera team will accompany us on a walk through the city of Bremen, while we are visiting the local theater and eat some sushi and, of course, talking about writing dramatic text. This is the plan right now, and I hope we can make this one possible, this contribution.
Right, yeah. It will be exciting. It will be exciting. And I'm also looking forward to taking some pictures when I get to Stuttgart. Take pictures of where I will be working from, take pictures of my surroundings. And because in one of my contributions, the written contribution, I was mentioning how where one lives influences the way we write. And sometimes, one's environment finds itself in what one is writing. That happens really without much effort, because I think what we see, what we smell, what we hear, what we experience, in many ways finds itself in our writing.
Yeah, you should really join the discussion that I will have with Ronald Ssegujja on getting to know each other, where we are both documenting our daily writer's routine, and you should really send us your pictures too, and your writing places, and how your writing environment is changing.
Right, I would love to do that. I'd love to do that.
Deborah, I'm really looking forward to talk to you, and I'm very glad that you are with us in this project. So
thank you.
And for you guys out there, check out our blog project on kampalarightsbremen.com or on bremenwriteskampala.com. Apply for a guest post, follow us on Facebook, and join the ongoing debates throughout the month of January. Let me finish by saying thanks and goodbye to you, Deborah. See you in January.
Goodbye, Nicholas.
Goodbye.
See you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Bye-bye.